Good day and welcome to the Shielded Prepper. Today's a special day. It's cold outside. We have the heat on in the shed. I've got coffee in hand, and I have two extremely important things to talk to you about today. One, as we know that there is massive snow in California, and two, our top two preps that if we have these is going to make everything else easier or not as important. Let's get into it, shall we? The article I have for you today, this is a scripted show. That's the shield. I'll show you that afterwards. I don't know if some of you have probably already heard about this. This came out yesterday evening, this particular article, yet we've been hearing about it, and I intended on bringing a highlighted awareness to it. Help us. Crews work to get supplies to stranded residents after severe snowstorm. California is getting hit with something. This is in mountain towns. Let's read on. First responders are working to get much needed supplies to Southern California mountain communities days after a series of rare winter snowstorms buried the region under mountains of snow. Many feet. It's all over California in the mountain communities. And these are the mountain communities, the ones that get more weather. Yet they rely in that on-demand supply chain, don't they? We're going to hear about what's going on. Not all of them. Many of them are like us. They were prepared for this. And this is really uncomfortable. The greatest governor of all time, Governor Gavin Newsom, declared a state of emergency in more than a dozen cities on Thursday, and it talks about the counties. It stranded thousands of people are stranded right now, and they can't even get to them. Not all of them yet. Among the signs of growing desperation, aerial footage from Los Angeles stations KABC captured on Friday a large "Help Us" sign. I know it's backwards. You get it? A large "Help Us" sign. They're desperate. They're stuck. They can move around their home. They can't go too far. And they had enough fortitude to write this sign. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office has received over 1,200 calls for service in the mountain areas. Over 1,200, and this was yesterday. It could be double that today. It gets more severe the longer these things happen. Nearly 20 people have had to be rescued from their homes. How did they do that? I mean, just the infrastructure to be able to do that is pretty impressive. Helicopters and all this is very expensive to do that. These people had to be rescued for one reason or the other, dialysis or heart attack or, we don't know. Deputies have assisted several convoys with getting food, gas, and other supplies to local grocery stores in Big Bear. Now, let's think about this. What are they getting up there? Food, gasoline. Why do they have gasoline up there? Well, there's thousands without power still, and it's buried so deep that it won't be on for the foreseeable future. They got to get to the power lines where the trees are on, and there's 5 feet of snow in those big things. They're working to just clear the streets right now. Wake up, nation. This Ninja Nation, if you're sending these videos out to others, ensure you're living a life of example in some of these. Don't just send this to people. This is pretty heavy stuff that we're talking about being prepared and why it's necessary. And if you feel compelled, choose to do it. Send this stuff off. Let's encourage people like us. We are the same. This is how I live. These are the things that I think about like many of you do. Let's move on. Food resources, gas resources, and I guarantee water's in there too. Some neighbors' roofs have collapsed or cracked under the extreme weight of the snow, and they're unable to get out there to shovel it off. And they had some pictures of people shoveling off their roofs. It's ridiculous. It's old men out there in their 70s, no joke, climbed out through their second story window and they're shoveling off because it's going to collapse their roofs. It's so heavy. And it's going to be days before this. They're starting to get some weather reprieve right now, yet this don't solve the problem, and it'll tell you why. Emergency officials have warned residents on Wednesday that it could be 10 more days before they're able to get the roads plowed. That's just the roads. I put a note on there. There's no power for a lot of them. That's going to take time afterwards. This is uncomfortable, so let's just get to this. According to the National Weather Service's San Diego Weather Services, Running Springs, the community of Running Springs, saw snowfall totals of 150 inches over a 7-day period. Big Bear, where historical records are kept, so this has a history of California's weather patterns, saw 82 inches of snow. The previous record for a 7-day period was 58 inches. They saw over 2 feet. It decimated the record. You ready for this one? The 7-day total for Lake Arrowhead, and I have friends, very close friends that own a great piece of property up there. Lake Arrowhead, California, was 109 inches of snowfall over 7 days. The yearly average for Lake Arrowhead in that community is 22 inches. These are wake-up calls for all of us. We know we're focused on paying down our debt and securing gold and silver and owning our home and making sure that we're insulating our wealth. And you must ensure that you're taking very seriously these opportunities for us to learn with our spiritual eyes and our ears. This is time. This is time. The other thing that we intended on talking about were the 2 top preps that if you possess these is going to make everything else easier or not as important. You ready? Number 1, a relationship with the Father. If you don't know the Lord, I'd love to help you. Put it in the comments. Send me an email. And if you do, strengthen that. It's going to bless you. Humble your heart. The Ninja was talking about the definition of meek the other day in one of his videos. I'm not sure if you did this, and I still follow the Ninja because I still get things. And from Chris Taylor, we have to be working towards this. This is very important, our relationship with the Lord. And choose a budding relationship with your spouse. If you're married, what we're getting ready to walk into is only going to increase pressure. If there's a way, husbands, I'm going to talk to you first. If you're listening to me right now, humble yourself. Ask for forgiveness from your wife if you've offended her. Start standing up in a new way and smile and create a budding relationship with her. It's going to bless you. Improve your relationship with the Father. Improve your relationship with your wife and allow her to follow you. This is what husbandry is called. Husbandry is the art of caring for things. This is why they call us husbands. And sometimes we don't have to have a wife necessarily. We can still have the attention of a husband. So if you know people in your community that you can cover and protect, that's what we're called to do, is to protect and to provide. If you're not married and you desire to be a provider and a protector, find somebody to help. And wives, we could talk later about the power and the function of who you are in a marriage. And today, husbands, or those that have a husband's heart, stand up. Start leading by example. Let's get into this future that is amazing, and it's blessed and it's protected, and we are all going to experience something new. I bless you guys today. Thank you for coming here. The shield. My son Roman made this. He even initialed it right there to make sure I didn't forget. He made me my own shield. The first shield for the website, or for the channel. Hey guys, appreciate you. Have an awesome day. I bless you in the name of Jesus, and prepare your house for snow.